So Tom is using Micah and Noah Bogart for his talent show, and Kent Babcock, and someone named John, bragging about it in Canada. Hooked up to Sam in Reno. You went and looked up old drug dealers in Modesto. I mean, you've been working on this project for 3 years, anything about me. It's none of my life is none of you and your wife's business. I mean, I live 500 miles from you. Because you want to be a drunkard with my brother Gary Bass? You know I don't get along with my brother Gary Bass. He's a drunken pervert. And I'm pretty upset. You guys affected my work, my home. You have talked your way into my house. You have contacted my boss. You have contacted family members of mine. You act like a Satanist. You are hooked up to Aunt Judy. You're hooked up to Lynn. You're hooked up to Suzanne. I mean, you went and hooked up with relatives. Then you wanted to play some game with Travis in Texas. I mean, this is pathetic. And you're trying to annoy my life. Why? I don't want anything to do with you or your wife. Never. You guys act like Satanists. You act like those demons in Medford. I don't owe you nothing. I mean, you tell Social Security you can't work, and you and your wife are on the computer doing all kinds of work? That's funny. Seems like you could go work at AT&T. Renee, you can apologize and quit playing hide and seek. I don't play hide and seek. That's some Satan game of your guys's. And you guys wanted to follow my daughters around and my grandchildren? You wanted to use my granddaughter and her contacts? I mean, you're just running around acting like a leech, contacting people I know, my contacts. You're attached to my telephone. You're attached to my work. This is pathetic. You're sick. You wanted to play some game of Missouri with my ex-husband. Then you went and hooked up with my ex-sister-in-law, Gary Bass's ex-wife. Then you wanted to hook up with Las Vegas, Oklahoma. People I knew 40 years ago. Did I sign my book over to you? Did I give you permission to go and ask my boss what my Social Security number is? I mean, no, I didn't. And I like my boss, and I'm trying to keep my boss out of this. You know, ex-employers can't even talk about you. And my boss doesn't realize what lunatics you people are. I mean, you're running around, you're using Micah and Noah Bogart. You're doing some talent show for Sarah Blake in Las Vegas. I'm not impressed with Sarah. Sarah was a hooker and a stripper for 30 years. I never bothered her, ever. And she's in the middle of my business, and that's not okay. You know, she used Clay Bigby. She used Kent Babcock. She went and looked up men that I knew 50 years ago. I mean, I never looked up any man she dated, not one. I mean, her book, being a hooker was probably pretty interesting. Running around, I stay out of that life. I don't try to be limelight. And I'm getting really sick of it, Tom, and your wife, Kristen, or whatever. I don't know. All I know is I've never done nothing to you people, and I don't want you stalking me. And if I have to get on TV to pull you and your wife out, and Renee, then so be it. And you went and you and Gary started looking up, wanted the police to come get my daughter. Why don't you go investigate Social Security, where Joyce, Judy Beck, and Linda Smith were a part of stealing my Social Security for Fidelity and the condo, $750 a month. Why don't, since you're such a busybody, you know how much money they have taken from me for a condo? I don't know I think it's for Jane. I don't know. It might be one of Joyce's. She probably sold them. I don't know. But it's a cult. It's Satanism. And you guys you went and used Jamie, the lunatic, Jamie, who stalked a judge and a cop? When a cop went to a judge's house and stole money out of her safe? I mean, you are hooked up with some dangerous people, and I don't appreciate you putting this in my life. I love Jesus Christ, and then you went and you tried to get into my doctor records? You guys wanted to stalk me to a doctor's office? No, you guys don't have permission to stalk me. You don't have permission to write about me at all. I mean, people can be sued for this. My granddaughter was none of your business. I would love to see your phone or your computer and see what kind of pictures of what you've been doing following my granddaughter and who she dates and what she does. And Renee went and used the places where she worked. And was contacting the same company down in Medford. No, I don't think you're funny, and I'm very upset with my sister, Lynn Dickerson. I moved away from them 40 years ago. I never brung out what happened. But yes, because I moved away and I wanted nothing to do with them. Her kids were attacking me behind my back in Modesto. My friends told me what Travis was doing. Hooking up with people that we knew 40 years ago. Hooking up with Sam, saying, get Teresa, get Teresa. Oh, I want to kill Lester Towns. I want to kill Lester Towns. Send Willie's sister up here, who's a swinger. And a meth addict. A swinger with a dad. I didn't hang around Cindy Andrews in Modesto. Then you wanted to play a game with Russell Soto and his brother Nathan and some people in Lebanon. And you and Ray wanted to contact, who was Ray contacting? Somebody named Woody? So you were trying to use Russell Soto, Tim Clay, Nathan Clay. I mean, you were looking up people, and Julie Sargent, you wanted to hook up with her brother Jeff. I mean, why do you want to hook up with all these people? Why? You tell Social Security you can't work, and you take time out to do genealogy on me? Then you contact Judy Beck. And then you use Dan Neubauer, who used to work with me. And he's a registered sex offender. And you're trying to say you did some talent show with this guy. Talent show. Yeah, I'm upset. I'm very upset. You're doing some game at my job. Then you wanted my boss to go to Las Vegas. And then you wanted to use his family. No, none of this stuff is okay. Number one, I didn't give you permission to write a book about me. You have no permission to use my name at all, Tom Naughty. And then you think you want to cause friction and stress between my husband